to Donington Park Racing Circuit, where once again the Peugeot 205 Turbo sets fastest time. Michel Mouton hauls the Quattro Sport round in second place, 2 seconds ahead of teammate Nicola. The different cornering techniques are illustrated as Voldegaard flings the Toyota Celica into the bend. Roger Clark, meanwhile, is still getting to grips with the Porsche, and perhaps wishing he was back behind the wheel of an Escort again. Swedish junior team member Stig Andervang throws his Escort around in fine style, bringing memories back of Roger Albert Clark of a few years ago. Sutton Park near Birmingham is the venue for the next stage, and John Buffon surprises many by taking fastest time. Vatanen has overshot a junction and stays out of the top 5 stage times on this occasion.
And car fairly rocketing away up to Anna Mikkola, 4 times winner of this rally, round the town gate, all that rubber on the road. Very, very characteristic turbocharged exhaust note. Car weaving under braking. Nice tight line, using the handbrake. Power down very early. In sight now, well up at the front. Charges into the hair. Leaves the braking a little bit late. Gets onto a bit of loose gravel. That's 370 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, 5-speed box. And again, a very, very tidy line. Passenger's door apparently is the one that's damaged. We shall see it on the outside. Swings it round now. Now in the Audi Quattro, in fact, amazingly, apparently locking up a wheel. Putting all the power down now, accelerating furiously. Left-hand drive car this for Malcolm Wilson, of course.
Weston Park is an RAC regular, and as crews negotiate the tight hairpins, they pay particular attention to the large logs lining the track. It's far too early in the event to be taking risks. As the sun rapidly drops in the chill November afternoon, crews thread their way through the narrow tracks of the Trenton Garden stage near Stoke-on-Trent. A water splash and the pop of flash bulbs creates beautiful effects as the cars roar through the woods en route to another tarmac stage around the Oulton Park Racing Circuit before an overnight halt back in Chester. Whilst competitors had only completed 23 miles of special stages on day 1 of the rally, the message was all too apparent. The little Peugeot 205 was going to take some catching. The leaderboard at the end of the day is looking like this. After leaving the Chester restart at 5 a.m, crews tackled the Drysdale Forest Complex in the Lake District in the early dawn. This 17-mile stage is quite rough in parts and ideally suited to the 4-wheel drive brigade. Despite this, both Michel Mouton and Malcolm Wilson have problems. Mouton is to need a new gearbox after the stage and Wilson a new clutch. Of the Toyota trio, Kankkunen has the problems. A puncture 6 miles into the stage costs him 2 minutes and a drop to 20th place. Timo Salonen is pushing his Nissan along a lot better now he's into the forest, as is teammate Shaka Mehta, whilst the youngest member of the Nissan team, Dai Llewellyn, recently crowned as British national champion, is also putting in a respectable performance. Opel Manta teammates Russell Brooks and Jimmy McRae are swapping seconds with one another in their annual battle to see who is top GM driver. Another Opel driver putting in a worthwhile performance, lying in the mid-teens, is Phil Collins, despite losing his boot lid on a log pile earlier in the stage. Citroën Visa driver Francois Chose comes through with 2 punctures, Drysdale being very unforgiving on tyres. No problems for John Hockland in the surprising Skoda, who is aiming for Skoda's 12th consecutive class win on the RAC. Mazda are another Japanese marque well represented. 2 Group B RX-7s for Philip Vomberg and Ingvar Carlsen. Whilst not likely to challenge the leaders, they looked and sounded impressive. Attractive Volvo drivers